Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition. Make sure you hit that like button one time so we can get this show started. We're talking about the funeral of Nolan Wells. That's right. First thing first, they had a closed casket, which means the body was not there. Number two, no tears were shed. When I tell you guys that that family is so suspicious, I don't know what else to tell you. They are literally using the death of their son to create racial tension, racial divide, and make a heck of a lot of money, guys. So let's talk about it. Reverend Al Sharpton offers up a $50,000 reward, and I'm also getting word from the news desk that Tyler Perry threw in an extra $50,000, making it $100,000 reward for anyone who can come forward with information that can lead to an arrest and prosecution of whoever killed Nolan Wells. When I tell you guys that I am so tired of the fakery concerning this case, it's disgusting that you have people offering money for information at a funeral. Now I want you to think about something. If Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, the family of Nolan Wells, if the investigators, if everybody have information about what happened that can prosecute somebody, then why don't they just do it? What's the holdup? The truth of the matter, guys, is this: they don't have no information. This whole thing is one big race hustle designed to divide us as a people, as usual, rage bait, and create racial tension. That's what this is all about, guys. I didn't see the parents crying. I didn't see nobody crying, guys. I didn't see no one shedding a tear. Nothing. I didn't see anybody really. Oh, you know what's even more important about that entire situation? Have anybody noticed that during that entire funeral, you didn't hear not one time the so-called alleged father at no point say, "When my son was born," because that's not his son. Just like I told you, you see a bunch of pictures being shown, but you don't see no pictures of when Nolan was born. Come on, y'all gotta wake up, man. When I tell you Nolan Wells is not the son of Mr. Wonsley, that's not his son. But the media pushed this story so that you could see the image of a black man, and in your mind you think Nolan must be black, but he's not. He's Filipino. He's the result of another relationship that Christine had with some other man. And I would even go as far to say possibly her own father, because based on what I'm seeing, Nolan has the last name of his grandfather. That's unlikely when a black man has a son. When a black man have a son, he want his son to carry his name. We never do stuff like that. I see a bunch of people in the comment section saying stuff about, when a single mother has a child, that she normally would give the child a last name if the man is not there. That don't make no sense. That's coming from a toxic home. If you're a single mom and you got to give your child your last name because the daddy not there, that's your problem. That's because you were out there throwing your damn box around, sleeping around, doing a bunch of evil, and for whatever reason, now you want to act like, oh, since the man is not there, I'm going to use my last name. That's toxic, because here's the problem with that. If you ever ran into the father and you want to get child support, you can't get child support. You know why? Because your child don't got the last name of that father. So even if you were to find the father and say, well, he's the father, I demand child support, you ain't getting no child support because he don't have the same last name. This is why last names are very important, because last names allows a child to inherit whatever that father have. So if the father's rich, let's just say hypothetically speaking, you're a woman and you have a child, and for whatever reason, the baby daddy is not there in the beginning, right? But later on in life, you find him and you want him to now step up to the plate and be this man in the child's life. If the child don't have the same name as the same surname as the father, that child's not going to be susceptible to any inheritance. He's not going to gain anything. You understand? He's good as nothing. So you want to make sure that your child have the name of the man that you slept with. It makes no sense as a woman to give birth to a child and that child is not carrying the name of their father. That is it's wicked. It don't make sense. And I see a lot of women making excuses, and it just goes to show how many single mothers we actually have wandering around with a bunch of illegitimate children out of wedlock, and nobody don't know who the fathers are. And this is why Nolan Wells, nobody don't know who his father is, because his mama was out there doing dirt, and then she put this man up, Mr. Wansley, to appear like he's the father, but he's not the father. And she used this entire situation to create racial tension so that she can make as much money as she wants off the back of her dead son. And then she want all of us to feel sorry for her. And if anybody question her, they get railroaded with a bunch of negative comments and negative thoughts like hater, pocket watcher, you're not supporting your people. Listen, Christine Wansley is not my people. She is a Filipino. I'm not Filipino. I'm not supporting no one who's posing and acting as if though they're African American. I'm not doing that. I'm not caught up in all of the emotions like you guys. You guys are caught up in the emotions of the case, and you're not using your brain. And because of that, people like the Wansleys, they're able to thrive off of our emotional ignorance when it comes to these type of cases. You have to think logically, guys. A lot of y'all are emotionally ruled, and you're not thinking about the bigger picture. You're focusing on skin complexion. I keep telling you guys all the time, so-called African Americans, because you're not really. Let me also add this, because I realize that a lot of you are not really educated. When we talk about these things, you don't understand the conversation. When I say African American, I am not saying that I'm an African American. An African American is what white America call black people. They call you black, they call you African American, they call you Negro. They made up all these names for you. You know why? Because you don't know who you are. None of you are African and none of you are American. Anybody can come to America and be American. Just because you're born in America doesn't make you American. You are who your father is based on your lineage. Do you understand? Lineage is what we're talking about. Anybody could come here and get citizenship and say, oh, I'm an American. Anybody could do that, you know? So what I tried to establish is the fact that Nolan Wells' mom, she's not a so-called African American. She is a Filipino. You understand? Her mom is Filipino. Her dad is Filipino and or Samoan. You understand? I did all the research. Even, listen, watch this. Nolan Wells' father's mother, right? She's Filipino as well. Think about that, guys. You have a whole generation, a whole family lineage that are these Pacific Islanders, Filipinos, Asian. You're coming from a bloodline of that. So when you look at Christine's father, even if he look like he's a black man, he is not. When you understand lineage, and this is something that so-called black people don't understand because they're not educated to understand lineage. They don't even know who they are. They don't even know who they are, fam. You look at the average so-called African American, he don't even know who he is. One minute he's this, next minute he's that, next minute he switches religion, then he switch it back. He don't know who he is, you know? And this is really, really serious. I try to educate people on what's really going on. And what's happening right now is you have a lot of rage baiting going on. A lot of rage baiting, a lot of people hustling to use Nolan as a tool to divide people. That's what's going on right now, guys. I'm like the only one on social media that actually have a brain cells to recognize what's going on. Because everyone else is pretty much in their feelings about everything. You got people that are online crashing out, losing their mind, talking about justice for Nolan, but you never visit your family members. I want you guys to think about this. You guys will be going hard in the paint for someone you don't even know, but you would never go visit your own family members. You would never go spend time with the people that you claim is your family. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about how you put all this time into a family that you don't even know. You don't know them from nowhere, but you put your all into them because you want to believe that they're black. Even though they made all this money, generated hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in the process, nobody been convicted, nobody been arrested. You know why? Because nobody did nothing. Nobody harmed this kid. Nobody did anything to this man. When you think about Nolan Wells, he died in a freak accident. A freak accident where he drowned, he was either drunk, he was either injured due to a fall. Something happened to that man, and for whatever reason, the black community turned this into a race issue, and they want someone who is white to pay for his death. If you really get down to the nitty-gritty, guys, the black community wants white people to pay. They cannot accept that this kid died by an accident. All of a sudden, there's all this outrage for a kid that nobody knows. But yet, in the black community, guys, people are dying every single day and nobody cares, man. I am tired of fake outrage. I am tired of everybody banding together. Every single time there's a case, the entire black community come together. But when it comes to black on black crime, when it comes on solving poverty issues, when it comes to solving fatherless home issues, you don't see nobody coming together. How come you never see Ben Crump in the ghettos where predominantly black people live? How come you never see him in crime-infested environments? How come you never see Ben Crump speaking against gang violence, shootings in the black community? You never see that man, y'all. Because why? He's a race hustler, y'all. The only reason why he connected with that family is because of money. Money, staying relevant. And you bring in old Al Sharpton. He talking about, yeah, I'm offering up $50,000 for anybody that could bring any information. As if though this is the wild, wild west. So now what we gonna do? Put up wanted signs? $50,000 reward? And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, Tyler Perry offers up another 50 grand? Come on, man. They playing with people. They trying to make it seem like there is something wrong. They figure by them saying, we offering up money, that somebody's guilty for this kid's death. If that's the case, guys, every accident is somebody's fault. You know? If that's the case, anytime anybody die in a freak accident, we need to blame somebody. We need to call Al Sharpton. We need to call Ben Crump. We need to get all these different people so that we can figure out what went wrong. It don't make no sense, guys. It don't make none whatsoever that this kid went out on a boat, no life jacket, no safety measures, right? And decides to go back to the island. And then when he goes back to the island, he end up dead. And then once he end up dead, everybody is complaining about, well, somebody did something to him. Well, if somebody did something to him, can you prove it? Can you prove somebody did something to him? Or are we going to be the executioner and judges of just judging people because we just want to blame somebody? In order for us to judge something properly, we need to have evidence, guys. We need to have evidence. We need to have actual witnesses. We need to have DNA. We need to have proof. And if you don't got that, you don't got no case, guys. If you don't have evidence, you have no case. This case is closed, period. And too many people on social media made this entire case a race issue. And it's to the point now where people are just looking to blame somebody and they don't got nothing. We just want to blame somebody. And the only reason why y'all doing that is because you don't like white people. Let's just call it what it is, guys. A lot of black people are racist. They don't want to admit that, right? They don't want to admit they're racist because, again, I'm the only one on social media that have been covering the Akin Liverpool case. Akin is a black man who was on a boat with his black friends. They all returned back home and realized he wasn't on the boat. Once they realized that, they told the captain. The captain contacted the Coast Guard and all the other officials and law enforcement. They went back out looking for him. They couldn't find him. Then eventually, they found the body. He was already dead. Up to now, nobody on social media is talking about Akin Liverpool. Nobody. Why? You know why? Because they can't create any sort of racial tension. They can't create no racial divide. They can't cause anyone to fight when it involves a black guy that died and all his friends are black. And that's exactly what I'm seeing right now. But with the case with Nolan Wells, it's the perfect case to create racial tension. Because you have one kid that appears like he's black, but he's not black, right? But they're using him like he's black. And what they're doing is they want the black community to ban with this so that they can use the inner issues, hatred, and thoughts of what black people feel so that can create publicity. And because of all this national attention, this family became rich overnight. Their son is still dead, and nobody got any clues what happened to him. You know why? Because nobody knows. And when nobody knows, the case is closed. You can't keep forcing, guys. You can't keep forcing a situation when you got nothing. So basically what y'all want us to go round up all of Nolan's friends and just put them in bars? Put them behind bars? For what? I'm hearing Al Sharpton and Ben Crump like, yeah, we need to get the phones of all his friends and we need the phones so we could do something. You can't take nobody's phones. You can't touch nobody's property. You got to have evidence. You got to have a crime that took place. So when I listen to these people when they talking about, oh, you know, we want the phones and we want this and we want that. You can't touch these kids' phones. These are teenagers. Nobody could gain access to their phones. I don't care how much investigation you guys are doing. You cannot touch the phones of any of these kids because it's not your property. It's just that simple. Y'all are all up in everybody's business trying to convict people with no evidence. It makes no sense. It makes no sense how people are being blamed for something they didn't do, and yet y'all be the first ones to talk about black men being put in prison for crimes they didn't commit. But look at what y'all doing. Y'all are blaming these teenagers who were this young boy's friends, and y'all blaming them for killing him with no facts. It makes no sense. If you guys are going to talk about something, you got to have evidence. And if you don't have that, shut up. Because at this point, it's making you look desperate. It's making you look crazy. It's making you look like you're on a witch hunt. It literally looks like a witch hunt on social media where everybody is just focusing on, we gotta get somebody. We gotta put somebody behind bars for Nolan's death. Y'all looking crazy, man. And it's wrong, man. It really is. But now, let's get back to the funeral. Let's get back to it, guys. They made the mom speak, right? When the mom was speaking, I didn't see nothing from that mother that made any sort of sense at all. None. Nothing made sense, guys. All I saw was a woman who was acting and acting and acting like she was so emotional. That woman didn't shed not one tear while up there. We're gonna do a whole video series on everything that happened at that funeral, guys. That woman didn't shed no tears. And the father, the stepdaddy, he didn't shed no tears either. They were all acting, guys. I'm telling you, man, that family is 100% fake, y'all. They're fake. They're not real. And I believe that they're working with Tyler Perry. For all I know, those are actors, man. Actors. They might have the Nolan Wells film that's coming out soon, being produced by Tyler Perry. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm telling you facts, y'all. I'm telling you facts, straight up. I don't trust these people, fam. I don't trust these people. I really don't. They are grifting. They are robbing our community. And this is a Filipino family, guys. And I ain't saying something is wrong with you if you're a Filipino. At the same time, what I'm saying is that we, as so-called black men and women, every single time we're getting played, guys, by other people that are acting like something they're not. They're using us in order to finance this family, and that's what they're doing every single day. They're using us to finance another family. That money is going back to the Philippines, y'all. Y'all don't see nothing wrong with this. So y'all don't see nothing wrong with a family collecting $800,000 because their son is dead. Tyler Perry paid for the funeral. So what are we doing? Funeral's already paid by Tyler Perry. So what is this family doing with money? $800,000. For what? It's a hustle, y'all. And nobody don't want to accept that. Y'all already gave all y'all money to Carmelo Anthony. Y'all got played because he's a murderer. And guess what? He did 35 years. He got to do 35 years, y'all. 35 years. And y'all gave his family $700,000. Now you tell me, $700,000 you give that family, and now what? What happens now? Where all the money go? Come on, man. Y'all getting played every single time, man. And then you have this family, you give them $800,000, guys. $800,000. And for what? For what? What exactly did we accomplish? Because I'm not supporting them, you know? I wouldn't even do that. But y'all gave all y'all money expecting that, for what? Y'all gave y'all money because y'all was expecting, this is what y'all were doing. Y'all was expecting the so-called friends to get arrested. That's what y'all was expecting. Y'all weren't expecting nobody black to get arrested. Y'all expecting the friends that are white to get arrested. That's the whole purpose of this whole thing. Guys, once you bring in a civil rights attorney, that's not for white folk. That's not for Asian folk. That's for a black family who believe that they were mistreated or something happened with their rights as black people. That's what the whole purpose of a civil rights attorney is for. Period. You understand? So when you see Ben Crump, he did not come to help that family because he thought somebody black unalived Nolan Wells. No. He came because he wanted to crucify his white friends. And what this tells me is a lot of black people are racist too. Because if you're falsely accusing people with no evidence and you're just condemning them as criminals with no facts, no evidence, no nothing, you're a racist. You are. It's just that simple. We like to say white people are racist, but we got black people that are racist too. Can we accept it? Can we admit it? Just think about it. Y'all want his friends to fry, but you got to prove your case. You got to prove what happened. You got to prove that somebody did something to him. If you can't prove that, guys, then guess what? You don't got no argument. You don't, because you don't have no witnesses. You see? It's just that simple, guys. This is why I do my content, because there's too many grifters, too many rage baiters, too many people that are hustling, trying their best to mislead people on social media in order to get over and make $1. You got content creators that are lying to you every single day. Lying to you every day with this case. Telling you fake news, fake stories, keeping you angry, keeping you emotional. This family didn't even cry at the funeral. That whole funeral was one big circus, man. It was like a pep rally at that funeral. They didn't even show the body. They didn't even have an open casket. They kept that casket closed, fam. You know why? Because his body is not there, man. You know why? Because of the body. Listen, how do I know the body wasn't there, gang? Where's the autopsy results? They didn't provide nothing for us, gang. So if we don't have that, information, then there's nothing else there. Because there's no information. And that's a problem. That's a major problem, gang. Because we don't have nothing. They like to get us all invested in these cases. And most of us won't even visit our own family. How many of you are so invested in Nolan Wells that you don't even visit your own family? You don't call your family. You never give to your family. If your family members ask you for $1, you would condemn them. But when it comes to Nolan Wells, you'll give him your money. You guys gave Carmelo Anthony $700,000 and he got 35 years in prison. You know why? Because he's a killer. You guys were supporting a killer because he's black. That's the problem with the black community. You keep supporting people because they're black. They could be guilty as hell. You still support them. When it involves a black versus a white. But if Nolan Wells situation, if Nolan Wells situation was him and black friends that was on that boat, nobody would care. Nobody would even give this issue a time of day. You know why? Because you can't create racial divide if it's black with black. Same thing with Carmelo Anthony. If Carmelo stabbed a black kid, nobody would care. But because it was a white kid, it created racial divide. And what did the black community do? They sided with Carmelo, even though he's guilty. Even though he's a killer. Even though he's a murderer. You guys stood with him, gave his family all your money, and he still got 35 years. You got played. So, That being said, guys, I'm gonna have more. I'm gonna go live later on tonight. I just wanted to come out, do a walk and talk video, and head back home, get something to eat, and then I'm gonna do what I need to do. So I want you guys to pretty much stay on point. Keep your eyes open regarding this case, because the grifters are coming out, man. The grifters are coming out, guys, and they are trying their best to keep us preoccupied with a bunch of nonsense, and I'm not buying all of that stuff, guys. So stay tuned to the videos. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'll keep you posted with more, but don't let the grift take you away. Do not let them make you feel as if though this family is deserving of all your support, because I'm telling you, it's one big hustle, guys. One big grift. And that's all this is about, man. It's a hustle, it's a grift. So rate, comment, and subscribe, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. We out of here. Peace and blessings. We out. Peace.